Good morning, everybody. Harmonica class number 80 coming at you. Harmonica class number 80 is a whole lot like harmonica class number 1. So please don't ever feel like you need to go back and do them all. That's crazy. Let me go post a link on our website. The only thing that makes sense is that you start on a Monday. So if you miss a Monday, that's when we do the little instructional part of this. The rest of the time, we're just playing music and trying to get better at all of this stuff. I'm very excited. I ordered a crossover harmonica, which is $70, and I probably spent more than that on parking tickets last week. And so do know that I'm trying to get better tools. No, I don't know why did I tell you that? I don't know. I'm just very excited about my new harmonica showing up. It's supposed to be arriving today. That's what the computer says. Today we are playing "Simple Gifts," one of my all-time favorite songs. Don't know why. It just strikes a chord in me. We're also playing some scales on the diatonic harmonica. We're playing "Colorado Trail" on the diatonic harmonica, which is a very sad song. We finally got our first set of chromatic scales, a C and a C sharp scale for this chromatic, and then we're playing "Over the Rainbow," which I played yesterday after class, and it's a lot of work. It's one of those songs where wouldn't it be lovely that you could just play it? And so there's that. Let's see, this thing always takes up way more room than I want it to. And there goes the mouse. There goes the keyboard. And let me come into, and see, Marcia's the first one in today. She says, good morning. Remember, when you come in, if the sound is good, let me know. If you're early in, so let me know if the sound sounds fine. It's always a little scary because I can't test that. And then where you're from and what the weather's like. So that we can celebrate those of you who are having great weather, and be those of you having terrible weather are like, oh yeah, that's how it is there, So good morning, Marcia. Sandy's in, bright and sunny, 33 degrees in Michigan. Still no snow, but enjoying not having to shovel. It's a mixed blessing, right? Back in the day when I had a house, it seemed like every 5 minutes there was 3 feet of snow, and I was really anti-snow. I was very against snow. Now that I live in a condo, and we have a guy, right? I'm actually very pro snow. And now that the world seems to be getting away from us ecologically, I'm terribly worried that there needs to be more snow. So I've gone from I don't want any snow to I want as much snow as possible. That's how my head has worked. And especially if the snow is in anywhere west of here or north of here, I'm for it. If I'm going out for a walk around the neighborhood, I just assume there'd be no snow. But I guess that's a tiny bit self-serving, huh? So there, Sandy says the sound is good. Marcia says, I see new songs. You got 2 new songs. I got them posted last night for tomorrow. So you probably want to check up those and remind me as we get to partway into class and everybody shows up. Guys, I did what I promised myself I will never do, which is I posted them without playing them. It was about 11:30 last night when I finally got them up on the website. And one of the things I know is that people are iffy about their willingness to listen to one of these. And so I thought, well, I don't want to play this at 11:30 at night. I have this lovely lady that I live with, and she will probably come get up out of bed, come in and punch me in the face. She's not a violent person, but that might cause it. And so I posted them without playing them. So I'm going to play them after class today. And you guys will let me know if you see any major catastrophes in there. Occasionally I get in a hurry and I miss a note or make the wrong tablature notation. So I wish the program I could just drop it into harmonica tabs, but that's not that tablet that does not exist. So you have to do it all by hand. Connie's in. Good morning. Good morning, Connie. Connie lives next door to me a little bit. Valerie,'s up in Illinois. Sunny and cold in Chicago, right? That sounds like Michigan. So there's similar weather up there. Farmer Ted is in this morning. Crisp, clear, warming up in Albuquerque. The beautiful part about Albuquerque is their weather most of the time in the winter is perfect. Like it's like, wow, this is awesome. The problem with Albuquerque is in the summer, the pavement kind of, you can walk along and the pavement kind of melts a little bit. So it can get pretty intense down there. They're still a mile high, so it's not as intense as like Las Cruces or El Paso or those kind of places where honestly it's brutal. Lindy's in. Good morning, Lindy. Blow and draw, make it sound like music. You do this and do this, and then you make music. How about that? What a weird thing. And so let's see. Sandy's in. Oh, Sandy already. I lived in the national forest. Lack of snow. Yeah, the lack of snow is really a concern worldwide, I think. And I don't. This business of the seas rising, of course, you want to be able to pump that water and turn it into snow somehow, but that's not how it works, right? And so, at least not according to my fourth grade, or was it fourth grade we learned earth science? When did we learn earth science? Was it fourth grade? Sixth grade? I don't remember. It was before seventh grade. I know that because in seventh grade we did the thing with the beakers and all of that stuff. It was sort of like intro to chemistry, I guess, is what we did in seventh grade. Don is in. He's from up the street. He's ready to play too. Good morning, Fran. She's in from Southern California. Just so you know, the weather's perfect in Southern California. And Ellen's in from Ecuador, which the weather is perfect, and then it's horrible, and then it's perfect again. All right. So this morning, let's go grab our warm-up tune of the day, which I've already forgotten what it is. Simple Gifts, and let's play through this one. If you are new here, come by on a Monday. On Monday, I give a little how to play harmonica lesson. It really is. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to learn how to play the harmonica, and then kind of the rest of your life to get any good at it. I've been fooling around with this for most of my life, but never as seriously as we do now. And so you can tell my skill level is at this level. There's plenty more for me to learn, and the way you learn it is by working on it a little bit every day. So. And because it's harmonica, you don't care if you sound bad, right? Hopefully you don't. You want to sound better than you do, but you don't. If you sound terrible, whatever. Okay. Simple Gifts. It's only written to play it one time through, but I'm going to add a repeat onto this, and so we're going to play it 2 times through. Okay, so 2 times through, 3 beat rest, and blow 6. 1, 2, 3. go. Whew, that opens the lungs up. That gets your day started. Makes your head a little dizzy. Hopefully that's a fun song for you. Let's switch on over to the morning scales. And these days I'm kind of pushing you a tiny bit to start thinking about how the standard notation notes line up with the tablature notes, so that at some point in the world, some point in your life, you're like, I don't need the tablature anymore. That's for losers. I'm going to just play from the regular sheet music. And so it's a process to learning to read from standard notation. It took me, I'd say, 2 years to get pretty good at it. And so it's not something you need to rush into, but be thinking about how a blow 4 shows up right there on the sheet music as the dot right below the staff, with just one ledger line going through it, and so on, up and back. And I think over time, especially, I'm sorry, I got stuff in my lips. I think especially as you get the theory sheets that we're doing, probably the best thing to do is pick either the chromatics or the diatonic, whichever harmonica you think you'll be spending the most time with, and learn to read standard notation just on that one. If you're trying to do both, it can get kind of confusing, and that's why when I'm busy tabbing out a song, I sometimes make mistakes because I'm busy tabbing in chromatic, but I start using diatonic numbers, and so it's kind of easy to goof that up. So I pick one or the other. If you're only going to play diatonic, then there's no reason to learn where the notes are on a chromatic, and vice versa. If you're going to play both with us here in class, obviously, I'll be giving you the tab, and you'd be like, well, I'll play tab on diatonic and real notes on chromatic or something like that. And again, don't rush yourself. You don't have to do that tomorrow, as long as you don't have to do it ever, honestly, but you do get a much bigger repertoire really quickly if you learn to read the singer's line. When you buy sheet music, it'll have lyrics, and it'll have piano, and it'll have the guitar chords on it. You can buy any Disney book, they're all the same, and you can play all the Disney songs just by reading the notes. All right, let's play our scales. I should double check over. Often I don't look at you guys because then I end up looking at myself. So let's see who else wandered in here. Marianne made it in. Fran, perfect weather in the winter. Yeah, 73. Yeah, they didn't have any rain down in Southern California. You're super scary. Yay! Glad Marianne is down. Kat made it in. Greetings, everybody. Got my new crossover today. I'm getting a crossover today too, Kat. You and I are the same. We're exactly the same. Hoping it helps with my horrible sounding high notes. I have horrible sounding high notes. It'll help. Maybe, hopefully. Where did you find the crossover for $70? Is it a C crossover? I don't remember the exact price. I just bought one off of Amazon, whatever price it was. It was expensive. I know that. Lindy, I actually found out I have simple gifts memorized. Look at there. That's even better. No sheet music at all. Nice. 25 degrees, 25 miles per hour and 37 degrees. Okay, so it's pretty serious up in Bozeman. Q made it in. Lindy, I found my crossover on Amazon for $69. That's in my head. It's about it. It was on Amazon. It's a C crossover, and I think it was about $70. That's in my head. All right. Let's play our scales. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then your minor scale, draw a 6, ready, play. All right. So two separate scales. Then again, on a C harmonica, if you played those exact same notes on using the tablature on a D harmonica, it would be a D scale, and if you played it on a G harmonica, it would be a G scale. And then the A minor is its relative, and how you figure that out? If you're playing a C, just count them over. Here's a C, D, E, F, G. A minor. So it's these two guys that are on a diatonic harmonica. If you play those two scales, it's whatever's on your thumb and whatever's on your sixth finger. Okay. So if we grabbed a G harmonica, a bunch of you guys have grabbed G harmonicas because they sound lower. G, A, B, C, D, E minor. So if you play those exact same notes, it comes out as an E minor scale. So G and E minor, they're good friends. If you did D, it would be a B minor scale. If you did F, it would be a D minor scale, and so on. And so you're playing the one and the six of any particular whatever harmonica you have in your hand, and so you can do that with your other harmonicas. Just play the tablature, and you're playing in whatever major scale the harmonica is tagged in. Plus, then when you play the minor scale, they call it a relative minor. That means it's related to the major because it's six over. Okay, today I got the wrong website up here. Here we go. Colorado Trail is what we're going to be playing for our harmonica song of the day. One of my favorite songs ever. Apparently this is just a good day for me. I think all these songs I like to play are coming up, and a friend of mine, Bob, who's a great guitar player here in town, he says, I don't like your version of Colorado Trail. It's too sad. It's got too many minor chords in it. So it is in C major, but I got a ton of minor chords in there, and it just sounds kind of sad, right? And it should sound sad because Laura is where she's buried deep neath a cross of wood. So things have not gone well for Laura. And so play it sad, okay? Okay, get your sad blows and draws on, and then it'll be better. Not fast at all. 4-beat counting. Let's play all three. Let's play all three times. Okay, and remember, the last time through, you skip 16 and play 17. All three verses. 4-beat counting. Blow 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your guitar player jumping in to give you the final C chord. Um, yeah, it's kind of sad. Hardest part for me is at the beginning of the song. The first time through, it's eyes like the, and so you got a half note there. But after that, both of the first notes are double notes, so it should be Laura was a 5566. And then 16 years is the same time the third verse. 5566, 16 years she graced this earth. So be mindful whenever we're talking about sheet music. It gets the big idea across, but there's always going to be stuff that require you as a musician to interpret a little bit. If you don't know the lyrics, then obviously you just play the tablature. But when you know the lyrics and you're singing along in your head, if two syllables have ended up under one note, the main thought was I want to avoid having this song be 3 pages long. I'd rather it just be 1 page long. And I'm going to count on the musicians to know that when we get to 16, you can go 5, 5 instead of just 5 and hope that the audience knows what you're up to. You can blow 2 5s there and then 2 6s and it sounds better, you know. Or if that doesn't sound good, put a 3 6s in a row. So you mess around with it until it sounds the way you want it to. And then if you need to go in and hand write in some changes in there, not a bad idea. I may look at that one of these days and be like, let's see. And the first verse is dead on exactly what it's supposed to be. Eyes like the morning star. But the other verses start to get a little iffy. And so don't be shy about changing notes up or moving stuff around if you need to make it sound more like what you want it to sound like. And of course, if you don't know the song, you don't care about the song, just play what's on the paper. It's fine. The one thing sometimes people ask in measure 7, right in the middle of measure 7, there's a note with a parentheses around it. What happened there was the song, the way I learned to sing it, drops down to an A note, which doesn't show up on this harmonica. It's not there. That note doesn't exist on this harmonica. And so my choice was, well, I can either get rid of the song and put it over onto chromatic, or I can change that note. And now that I play it this way, I've been playing it this way with you guys for the last, since August or whatever, 80 lessons, however many times we play this, that note now sounds right to me. And so if I ever go back and play it the way I'm used to playing it, it'll sound like, what's going on there? So it's in parentheses to let you know that there's 2 ways to tackle that note. Simple gifts is the same way. Then I start you off with simple gifts on 6. But what it really wants to do is it wants to start on a lower note that doesn't exist on your harmonica, or at least the way I learned to play it. So I've changed it to 6s because you have that note. And honestly, now that I play it that way, I don't miss it the other way. So it's interesting how when you change a melody note, you're like, oh my God, that is so wrong. But then if you play it a half a dozen times, you're like, oh, well, I guess that's fine. And you'll get where you feel very comfortable with it. All right, diatonic players, that's it. If you're diatonic only, good for you. You guys have 30 other songs on the website. Do take some time this afternoon to go print out the new songs for tomorrow. I put Tom Dooley up there. I love the melody behind Tom Dooley. I positively hate the words behind Tom Dooley. And so if you are, again, those of you who are poets, be thinking about how we could change the words. I like it when you take a song that's already exists, the words have run their course, they're no longer relevant. Tom Dooley's words shouldn't have been relevant the day the guy wrote them, but they were. And be thinking about, hey, what could I do that's funny here, right? Can I write on top of Old Smoky became On Top of Spaghetti, and it's way better as a spaghetti song than it is as On Top of Old Smoky. And Tom Dooley, because it's a dumb song, dude goes up, stabs this poor girl in real life, and then they wrote the song about him, and you're like, what? That's not the right thing to do. People in the 19th century had a confused notion of what was important. And we probably do today too, probably. And so Tom Dooley is got dumb words. So if those of you who are poets be thinking about how can I make this funny? How could I make it about harmonica? How could I make it about music? How could I make it about something deep and thoughtful like simple gifts? And change the words up. See, and if I ever get somebody who sends in like the best new idea for Tom Dooley, then we would change the words for sure. So, all right, let's go grab your chromatic scale. I've been putting my scales up in my theory section, or it would also make sense to put your chromatic scales up in front of the chromatic section in your book, whichever you think makes the most sense. Remember, C scale has no sharps or flats, so we don't use the button at all. C sharp scale has all sharps, and so you have to use the button on every single one. It's fascinating, right? When you're thinking about how music works, if you're playing a C scale, which is all the white notes on the piano, C, D, E, F, G, then when you switch to the C sharp scale, you just move up one, and all of a sudden you're playing all of the black keys plus two of the white keys that don't make sense as naturals, or actually ends up as an E sharp, which is the same as the F key. So it gets super complicated right off the bat if you're a piano player. But if you're a harmonica player, you just go clunk, and all of your problems are solved. As we add in the other scales, D scale, E scale, F scale, and so on, which we'll be doing over time, there'll be a whole lot more button pushing as we go through the various scales. Uh, so that's something fun to look forward to. Let's see here. All right, here we go. Chromatic C scale from blow one, play all the way to the end, wait for 2 beats, and then go directly into your C sharp scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's super cool. I never really gave that much thought that on chromatic harmonica, you just push a button and turn everything sharp. It's actually fascinating from a musical perspective. All right. The things that make you excited when you know too much about music theory. Let's see. Next is our song of the day, Over the Rainbow. Okay, and hopefully you had a chance to peek at this yesterday. I have printed out an abridged version of it, so I don't have to turn pages. You guys have the longer version with all of the exciting pieces and parts on there. And again, if you know other people who play music, let them know what you're up to. You can replace their singer. They don't like a singer for their band anyway, and so you can just become that person, and they can switch from being a band with a bad singer, with a weird attitude, and become a harmonica band, and they'll actually be more marketable. All right, Over the Rainbow. I'm going to pull up your version just so I make sure that I'm talking correctly. On your version, you have the ukulele version and the guitar version. If I remember right, this really does require a low G ukulele. This is a big song. It goes very low and goes very high. Yeah, it does major 17, and you have to have a low G ukulele to play this one. But not necessarily. If you have a ukulele and somebody's going to play the harmonica, you can just strum the chords. You don't need to worry about the tough line, right? That's what I give you guys. Those of you guys who hang out with me for ukulele, you know that that's the tough line that I put on here. Same for guitar. That's the tough line. You don't have to do that. If your person knows how to play their chords, they can just play chords. You play the melody with your harmonica, and everybody has a great time. I put more complicated stuff on here because obviously I know musicians who like to complicate things, and so I want them to have everything they need. On my piece of paper, what I did is I just hid the ukulele and guitar line because I don't want to turn pages while I'm trying to play with you. And so my only note on this song is at the bottom of 24. When you get to measure 24, you're gonna have done all these draws. You need to dump your air there because you have a lot more draws coming up. And so at the end of 24, give yourself an opportunity to get the air out of your lungs, or you'll pop, and we don't want that. That would be sad. Let's see. Oh, Francis made it in. Harmonica scale is such a wonderful way to warm up the C harmonica. Heck yeah. Q says, my harmonica needs cleaning. Instruction I found on web, not so clear. Do we actually put the reed part into water or vinegar to clean? How to do? Yeah, the metal reed plates should go into the vinegar. Okay. Don't put anything wood either in water or in vinegar because it will swell up like crazy and you'll ruin your harmonica. I ruined a harmonica here recently thinking, I'll be fine. I'll put it in there for a little while, and then it never ever unswelled. So don't do that. If it's made out of wood, don't let it soak in water or vinegar. But all of the metal parts, absolutely put those into the into the vinegar. Let them soak for a little while. Be very ginger, very, very careful, and maybe take a toothbrush and sort of wipe off any sort of heavier buildup that you have. If you bend the reeds, you break the harmonica and you don't have that harmonica anymore. So be very, very gentle. And the only other thing I do, I take a paper bag and I go under so super gentle under each reed just to get out any possible weird stuff that's in the harmonica. So I'll cut a piece of a paper bag, a brown paper bag, like a lunch sack, and then I just gently go under each reed and sort of go back and forth just to make sure there's no buildup there, that the vinegar didn't just naturally eat off. That may or may not be necessary. I do have one harmonica where a reed actually got stuck, and I'm going to need to go in and spend some time on that one particular reed to figure out why it's stuck. Did it get moved over a little bit, or what happened there? It's on an expensive harmonica, so I've got to take some time to do that. So yes, anything that's metal goes into the vinegar. Anything that's wood doesn't go into water or vinegar. At the end, after you put it all back together, well, as you're putting it back together, obviously rinse it off as good as you can from the vinegar. Otherwise, your harmonica tastes like vinegar for a while, and it's not pleasant. So rinse everything off and then put it back together. Okay. All right. Over the rainbow, we're going to ignore measures 1 and 2, and we start on measure 3, right? And so what is the point of that? Well, you imagine you're playing with a band, okay? And so they're going to do this intro, bum, ba, 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 bum, 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 blum, and then you're going to come in somewhere and you're singing. For the most part, you're doing just the lyrics on here. I do have a few decorative notes in here. And when we get to those measures where there's a long note, you kind of ignore what's going on in the rest of the sheet music because that's not for you. That's for the guitar players, the ukulele players, and the singers. Well, not really the singers, but that's for other musicians. Your job is to play the tablature and nothing else. Okay. So from the top, we're going to do a 4-beat count in, and then we blow 5, and we play the song twice through. So it's a long song and you'll be tired at the end. And then if you will just make sure, to give yourself a note at the end of 24, you're going to want to get rid of all the air in your lungs, because what happens in 25, 26, 27 is going to be sad if you don't get all your air out there. From the top, 4-beat count in, verse 3, blow 5, 2 times through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, guys. We're going to start at 32. I don't feel very badly about that. Things were going very well. 32. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I messed you up. We're doing. I thought we were doing pretty well. Huh? Things felt very solid, and then the phone rings, and I'm trying to remember to turn these dang things off, or at least get them out of my pocket where I can turn them off quickly. I have been carrying the cell phone for the condominium here for the last couple of weeks while we're getting a new manager on board, and I'm ready to throw it in a lake. So yeah, so that's going to be a problem. Guys, hopefully that's a good song to keep you busy today. Chromatic people, I did post Last Rose of Summer. Oddly, Last Rose of Summer might theoretically be able to fit onto a diatonic, but because we've got our other two Celtic songs on there, Danny Boy and the Minstrel Boy, wanted to also put Last Rose of Summer on chromatic. I'm going to pick one more Celtic song, and then we will play a week full of just Celtic music, and then we'll put it together in one giant medley at the end of the week. So that's coming up, and yeah, so there we are. Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful day. Hopefully, starting off your day off, or being in the middle of the day, or ending your day with a little bit of honking is a fun way to keep yourself musical, blow the stink out of your lungs, and all of that. So give me play through the two new songs. Make sure you don't see any mistakes. If you do, send me an email and we'll update it. And that's it. That's what I know about harmonica for today. Try to remember to do a random act of kindness for somebody once in a while. Try to be safe, right? Practice a little bit and show up every day. That's the key. If you haven't pushed the thumbs up button or subscribed, you got to give some thought to that. That'll make it your life. You'll instantly become better looking if you do that. Not that you're not already amazing looking, and that's what I know. So, questions over here, Christine. We are in the middle of snow. Oh, it started to snow up in Bozeman. Okay, all right, good to know. Yeah, good day to be inside playing, right? This summer we get to go sit on the patios and play and drive our neighbors insane, right? And by then you'll have mad skills and you'll be like, yeah, come here, listen to this. Listen, I can play Over the Rainbow on a harmonica, and they'll sit over at the next door and they'll be like, all right, are they done yet? Hopefully they're done because I'd like to go back outside and I don't want to talk to them about harmonica. And then let's see. Marianne said, "Whoop! Over the Rainbow is my very favorite." All three of the songs today were my favorite on accident, right? Didn't plan it that way, but it just works out with the rotation. Great day for music. If you didn't like every single song today, you are mistaken. So yeah, I love all these songs. Let's see. Francis says, I don't think a smoker could play the Rainbow song. That's part of what we're doing, right? Some of you guys were smokers at one point in your life, and maybe not. Maybe your lungs are still, getting repaired from that. Yeah, I think that, in fact, if you live in a city like I do, you're breathing in crud all day long. It's not. This is a way to strengthen your system and make you hopefully able to breathe a little better. There are respiratory therapists out there who do actually use harmonica as a way for their patients to get where they're breathing a little stronger. And so if you know a respiratory therapist, send them over to the website and let them check it out. I don't know anything about respiratory therapy, but I read an article one time that somebody was doing that. Sandy says she loves it. Evelyn says, Over the Rainbow is really fun. And if you don't rush, right, if you let that song develop at its own speed, it ends up being really, really beautiful on that. Francis says, bikini weather in Denver. Woo! I'll put my bikini on, Francis, and come over. And Fran says, see you at 1 o'clock for ukulele. Yeah, so time to pull the plug. I'll see some of you in the next hour for foundations for ukulele, and I'll see some of you at the next hour for tough ukulele. So take care, you guys. Have a good afternoon.